こんにちは。ブラードコーナーの別のエピソードへようこそ。Hello and welcome to another episode of the Blerd Corner with your favorite host, Rich 先生。
Welcome to the Blerd Corner. Couple things I want to say first before we get started. Clearly, we're a new podcast. We're going to be all major platforms. And as far as the Blerd community goes, I follow quite a bit of other Blerd people on various platforms. I'm very heavy on Instagram with them and a lot of Facebook groups. But today, I asked a poll on my Instagram, and I said, what is the most iconic moment in anime? And as far as the responses goes, they've all been pretty much the same thing. Somebody said in Dragon Ball when Goku became the Great Ape form. I would like to kind of like agree with that, but also disagree, because there is so much more anime out there than majority of people have seen, and to assume that's the best one, I can't agree to that. But it was definitely a memorable one that we will take on in our memories forever. The next one was when Goku went Super Saiyan for the first time, and that happened around a point where Frieza killed Krillin. Again, if you ever play any kind of Dragon Ball Z game, you'll know off back that you're going to play that story plot. That is what DBZ franchise marketed. That's what they bet on when they were coming out in the beginning. So I can agree with that one. Another response was the first ever Naruto and Sasuke fight. And I think they're hinting at the end of the first Naruto when Sasuke and Naruto was fighting with their curse mark form and their incomplete Kurama Chakra form. By far, also another iconic anime representation. But for me, what I think was the most iconic fight scene, battle scene in Naruto would have been when the final fight in Shippuden, when Sasuke and Naruto went back to where they fought at in the first one, and like the hands that were being thrown were unequivocally probably the best hands ever seen in the series. They had the flashbacks from younger to now to the mid forms. It was just insanely crazy. But to me personally, another transformation that I felt was not a transformation, but another fight that I felt was special. All right, it might not be the greatest fight in all of anime history, but I'm gonna have to say this one comes out of One Piece for me. It's gonna be Luffy versus Arlong. To me, this is what captured me into the One Piece series. This is what made me want to see what's going on in Luffy's life and watch the Straw Hat Pirates be successful in their journey. Luffy and Arlong fight really puts it in perspective for me. It showed how prideful Nami was, how she wanted to handle everything herself because of what Arlong did. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not going to talk in great detail about it either. But the most iconic scene was when Luffy pulls up next to Nami, and Nami finally asks for Luffy's help. And that's when Luffy takes off his beloved straw hat and places it on Nami's head. And I forget what he yelled after that. He might have yelled Arlong or whatever. I'm not sure because the sub and dub differs, but he screams something, and then Luffy, Sanji, Zoro, Usopp, they all walk in a line straight down to Arlong's palace on Nami's island, and hands proceeded to get thrown. And after Luffy was done throwing hands, he asked Nami, "Are we friends?" I don't know, man. It might not be iconic, but to me, that's what One Piece has to be my favorite anime. Not of all time, but currently. And the manga is just crazy. This whole Wano arc is out of control. Um, there's a couple things that I got a problem with One Piece, but overall, it's fire. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna switch gears and I'm gonna talk about a couple animes that are new to this season that I feel like everybody should at least give a chance to. I might give a brief explanation about what it is. So the first one I want to talk about is going to be Dr. Stone, of course. Dr. Stone, I like it because what happens is some phenomenon happens and it turns everybody into stone statues, and like years pass, like I think like 3,700 and something years pass until the main character, the protagonist, Senku, awakens. And this guy is a man of science, and his goal is to rebuild society with the kingdom of science. And of course, as any shonen anime goes, there's going to be a villain or antagonist that has the complete opposite. 10 out of 10, I recommend. You should go look at it. It's pretty dope. Next one I'm going to have to say is Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer has been a 2-core anime. It's going on for the summer and for the spring. We're nearing the end of it, and it's amazing. Like, the animation is unrivaled, and I believe the studio that made this one is Ufotable, and they have really stepped up their game. I mean, they had their hands in another beautiful anime that I like, which is Fate. The way it's drawn is just impressive. Demon Slayer is about this boy named Tanjiro. He's basically the breadwinner of his family. He goes out to, I forget what he was delivering, but he was selling something, so he had to walk a day to get to a village to sell something. And upon his return, he found out that his family was slain. They were killed. At the time, he didn't know what it was. He didn't know what was going on. He was furious, angry. And then he found his sister, Nezuko, who was still alive, but she was different. She had been transformed into a demon. So they have a little run-in with a demon slayer. I won't say his name because you have to watch it. I'm encouraging you to watch it. And long story short, Tanjiro sets out to become a demon slayer with the intentions of turning his sister back into human, which is possible. It's funny because the main villain in there, he looks like a famous pop icon that we all know. Again, I'm not going to say too much about it. You need to go watch it. The next one that I kind of been watching is the Isekai Cheat Magician. So let me explain to you what an Isekai is. An Isekai is a anime where a person in the real world, like currently our world, but either is transported or dies and reincarnated. So either way, you're leaving this world for another. That's typically what an isekai is. And this isekai, the main characters are summoned from their world to a fictional or multi-dimensional, however you want to interpret it as, world to help save a kingdom. They were summoned, and it's just supposed to have been one main character, but there's a female main character in there as well. and she gets sucked into it, but originally she wasn't in the initial plan to be there. Um, it's pretty good. I recommend checking it out. It's only 10 episodes in. I believe it's going to be a single course, so it's roughly 12 episodes. So 2 more weeks and they'll be done. Another one is Fire Force. Um, Fire Force is another one I recommend. It's pretty strong this summer. It's also 10 videos in, and I recommend it. It's about the protagonist's name is Shinra. He's a third generation pyrokinetic being. So basically, what that means is he can control fire, and there's various people in this anime that can manipulate fire to a certain extent. When he was little, his house was burned down by an inferno, which is basically a person that combusts into a fire demon, as you can say. They lose all consciousness and sensibility, and they burn everything, and have to be put down. And up until then, they figured it was a natural phenomenon. But recently, they find out that that's not the answer. That's not quite the case. So Shinra is on a mission to find out what happened to his family. And he wants to be a hero. He wants to save everyone. It's a very good anime to watch. Also a very good read if you're into manga. What's another one this season that I enjoyed? Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? That's a very interesting one. I mean, it's not new. This is the second season, and it's basically a dungeon crawler anime. Me personally, I enjoy those kind of animes. When they go in the dungeon, have to grind it out. This particular one struck a chord. The artwork is pretty good, and I just enjoy the overall story. The English title is called "Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon?" But the Japanese title is Danmanchi, which is less of a mouthful to say, but it's not as fun to say, you know. So it's about this guy. He's looking for a familia. A familia is a family that's created by certain gods that was sent down to live among the mortals. And that's where the dungeon crawlers get their abilities from. They got a ranking system. The main character, Blerd Corner, we don't know too much about his backstory, but he seems to be very important as the time goes on. He's a nobody. Nobody take him to their family until he meet Hestia. Hestia takes him in, and he starts crawling dungeons, and then he discovers he has a certain ability. He doesn't know it yet, but Hestia, his goddess, the one who levels you up. Not really levels you up, but it's hard to explain. Only goddesses can read markings of persons that belong to a familia. So Hestia found out that Belkun, as she calls him, Belkun has a certain ability that helps you grow faster. Like I said, I'm not getting into it, but it's a pretty solid watch. They're on season 2 right now, and I think it came out in 2012, season 1. But check that out. I definitely recommend it. Another one I'm going to talk about is, give me a minute, I'm about to pull it up. From a commonplace to the world's strongest. That one's typically found on Funimation. I'm not really too big on watching anime on these streaming sites. That's how your computer gets AIDS. I mean, it's curable, but nobody wants AIDS. So, this one's about these humans who were transported to another world. Today, will say that in the beginning, but they hint at it towards the current episodes. And they also have to crawl and explore dungeons. And one day, the main character, what's his name? Let me look it up real quick. The main character's name is Hajime Nagamo. I gotta work on my Japanese names and words here, apparently. It says, from a commonplace to the world's strongest, after Hajime Nagamo and his high school class are suddenly summoned to a fantastical world, he tumbles into the depths of a monster-infested dungeon to thrive in this savage world. Hajime has no choice but to welcome the abyss. And to me, that sounded pretty interesting. So I started watching it, and sure enough, I enjoyed it. It's very slow at first, but it picks up around episode 5 or 6. I'm assuming it has 12 episodes, so one core season this anime is. But again, we have to wait and see. I mean, you can look it up, but I'm not currently entirely sure at this moment. But it's definitely worth the watch. It's on episode 9 right now. I caught up last night, and it's about to get crazy. Another one I like is the Demon Lord Retry. All right. Demon Lord Retry. It's a Japanese fantasy light novel series written by Kurono Kanzaki and illustrated by Kojo Ogata. It began serialization online in 2016 on the user-generated novel publishing website. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. It's also on the website Hamelin. That's Hameln. Don't know what that means. But it's a fantasy isekai. And the protagonist's name is... It's hard for me to remember these things, but I'm going to look it up for you, all right? That's what I'm here for. To spread the gospel. Hakuto Kunai, or his subordinates call him the Demon Lord. So, he's a video game designer, and he gets sucked into his own game. On the day he was getting ready to shut down the servers and cancel it, he was sucked into the video game. And we don't quite know why yet or how it happened, but for sure, it's a typical isekai. I mean, it's not the best one I've seen, but it's alright for the season. It's something to watch. So I highly recommend you guys going ahead and checking that out. Alright, I want to take a quick moment to talk about a couple animes that's going to be rolling over into the fall season, and some that are coming back, and some new ones keep an eye out for. First of all, Dr. Stone is going to be a 2-core anime. It's going to have 24 episodes, and they're each 24 minutes long. The next one that's coming back is Sword Art Online, Alicization, The War of the Underworld. It's basically a part 2 of Sword Art Online that aired out last winter. And Sword Art Online gets a lot of flack online, but it's one of the superior style isekai animes there is. So, of course, 100%, I'm going to tell you to watch it. Fire Force is going to be a 24 episodes. That's going to roll into October as well. Boku no Hero Academia. So, My Hero Academia is coming back for its 4th season on October 12th. That's probably one of the more anticipated animes that's been talked about, that's being looked forward to. And if you're up to date on the manga, you already know that season 4 is going to be packed with non-stop action. It's just going to be lit. It's not going to be... You're not going to want to miss it. You got to tune in. Another one that I forgot to talk about earlier, Vinland Saga. That one's on Amazon Prime Video, and it's not as popular because it's on Amazon Prime Video. I mean, that's my my guess, but it's very good. The animation's on point. It's up there with Demon Slayer. The story's lit. I say go ahead and check it out. 10 out of 10, recommend. And of course, on October 9th, we're getting 7 Deadly Sins back. We're not going to get it back in terms of Netflix and dub, but it's coming back. But nobody's sure who's going to be subbing it. I know Netflix said they'll get it like early next year, but of course, anime fans want it now. Okay, another one that's coming back in the fall 2019, Shogeki no Soma Shinosara. I botched that up like a motherfucker, but goddamn, this is gonna be the 4th season of Food Wars. If you've never seen Food Wars, it's an anime about food, and this low-level kid with a fancy dad is trying to be top of his class in his cooking academy, and it seems like the cooking academy runs pretty much most of the world. It's very in depth, and of course, there's crooked people that's involved. But this show is fun. It's funny. The food looks great. You can look up on YouTube of a reaction video to people eating the for real food that's made in Food Wars, and it's full of fan service. And if you're gonna watch it, don't watch it around kids, I guess. I mean, you can. You're the parent. Let me see what else is coming out. Assassin's Pride. I haven't heard of it. It says, the description says, in the world where only the aristocrats have power to fight, the monster, Mana, a youth named Kufa, is dispatched as a tutor to find Merita's talent, a nuanced girl born in a duke's family. If she is not talented, assassinate her. That's the dark side of his task. So that seems tight. It can be interesting. One Punch Man season 2 specials are coming back out. One Punch Man season 2 was phenomenal. I like how it focused around the villain this time, Garu. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and see it. It's typical anime about an overpowered troop, and he's just like destroys everything in one punch. Saitama is also a topic that gets thrown around a lot in the anime community. These guys are obsessed with versus battles and try to compare other anime characters to other anime, who would win in a fight. But when the power scaling of these animes are significantly different, so it's frowned upon in some groups and other groups encourages it. Me, I don't care, because everybody's got an opinion of something. ReZero comes back, and that's been a while. That one come back on November 8th though. That one's gonna be a movie apparently, but season 2 is also coming back, which is gonna be dope. If you haven't seen ReZero, go check it out. What else is coming out? Let me see. Violet Evergarden. It's supposed to be coming out. It's supposed to be out now. I don't know. I'm sorry. I haven't seen any Violet Evergarden, but I see that the animation's god tier. Fairy Gone second season. Okay, Fairy Gone and Demon Slayer started at the same time, but Fairy Gone got so drug out and so boring that I dropped it. But people like it, so maybe I'll give it another retry before season 2 comes out. Psycho Pass 3 is coming back in October, and if you're an anime fan, you've heard of it. I particularly haven't seen it. I'm still a novice when it comes to this, but of course I'm going to check it out and we'll talk about it. That's this channel is all about. This podcast is all about. What else is coming out? Fate Grand Order. Another Fate's coming out. I wonder if it's going to have the same servants, because Saber is an iconic heroine, anime hero, I guess you can say. You'll see a lot of studios imitate the Master Swordsman, who is a female with blonde hair and typical British knight armor. It's pretty good. Fate Zero is where you should start at, in my opinion. That's when the animation is the best and the story is on point. There's multiple fates, but they don't intertwine. They're like different periods of life that happens. It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm seeing some other stuff coming out, but I don't really have too much info on it. I'm gonna have to educate myself on a lot of these stuff. Radiant second season's coming out. I didn't watch Radiant. I started it, but it seemed kind of childish to me. So naturally, I kind of like fell back. Like, what else is coming on TV? Kind of lost my interest. I'm a full-time student, and I work on the weekends, so my time is limited when school's in session. But nonetheless, I do what I gotta do for the love of anime, as everybody should. All right, let's go ahead and switch gears because I understand like not everybody's a anime fan. I mean that's cool. I understand. This whole podcast is gonna cover a variety of things. So let's go ahead and talk about this new Disney Plus lineup. Disney's talking about bringing back all the OG Disney shows. They had me when they said they were bringing back Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck probably has to be one of the most coldest, forgotten about Disney characters ever created. They're also doing like Marvel miniseries, which is pretty good. It's a good way to force new characters into the MCU without having to have their own movies, and it's also something that's going to generate sales. Uh, Look, Disney Plus is not paying me, so anything I say is purely out of something that I feel needs to be heard. All right, now that I got that disclaimer out of the way, look at it like this: Disney has already bought Hulu, and Disney owns ESPN Plus. So right now I pay for Hulu. It's like what, $12.99 a month or something like that, somewhere along those lines. It's up there. But if you buy Hulu, not Hulu, but if you buy Disney Plus, you'll get Hulu and ESPN Plus free. And I don't know about anybody else, but I watch a lot of Hulu. I watch a lot of ESPN. It's currently football season right now, and I'm a big fantasy football guy. And the fall just takes. I just love the fall in general. I like pumpkin spice lattes. I like hoodies. I like football. And it's just chill. You know what I'm saying? It's like the perfect temperature, perfect weather. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. But it's the best season ever. So I'm all about that ESPN Plus. And of course, Disney bringing the bangers because they got them. Disney's a heavy hitter here lately. I'm sure everybody's up on the Sony and Disney negotiations to get Spider-Man back into the MCU for more seasons. What the fuck was that? Sorry, I meant movies, clearly. Yeah, I had to just drop in, splice that, correct it. Not seasons, movies. I'm not well versed in the details, but all I know is that Sony had decided to sever ties because they weren't liking the numbers that Disney was proposing as far as like revenue and was it merchandise profiting, all the other stuff that's involved in there. This was going on for a while, but I will say this: the last thing I seen was today, and it's saying that Sony and Disney, or Marvel, I should say, are renegotiating because now Disney wants Venom. Disney wants Venom in the MCU. So they're trying for Venom and Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm here for it. I mean, I love the MCU. I love what they got going on. I like how they're consistent. It's pretty good thing. I mean, I would hate to see this Spider-Man that was forced in our faces, and we were forced to like, because I was a Tobey Maguire. Nope, scratch that. I hated Tobey Maguire. I was an Andrew Garfield guy. People who like Tobey Maguire is solely based off of nostalgic firepower. That's my opinion, at least. But I was an Andrew Garfield fan. I feel like he had more character, more personality, and the older college-born Peter. Tom Holland's the perfect. What is it? Is it amazing or spectacular? One of those storylines that Tom Holland is playing the role for. He's doing good as the high school Spider-Man. I enjoyed him. I'd rather have him in the MCU because I feel like this whole Phase 4, whatever they're calling it, it's supposed to be built around him. I think it's the Secret Invasions. They just finished Infinity Wars Endgame, so the next one's gearing towards the Secret Invasion. This is when I'm not gonna talk about it. If you're a comic book reader, you know about it. And they give you something to look up as well. I'm not gonna try to spoil it for you guys at all. But back to the Disney Plus thing. Disney Plus is like $12.99 for 3 services. I don't know about you, but I am definitely for it. But right now, if you're like signed for like a Disney account, a D23 account, you're getting a discount like 33% off of a year. Disney Plus. That's kind of sketch early on. But I understand it. It's a money grab. I mean, everybody's about money. I don't care who you are. Everybody's about money. Disney's trying to get you to pay for a full year of the service up front. So it's like $120. I don't want to commit to a streaming service for that much money before it even comes out, you know? I like to see the finished product first before I pay for it. That's just me. And that's all I'm going to say about Disney, because they ain't paying me nothing to talk about them. I mean, ain't nobody, but I'm not going to use my time with you guys to talk about Disney anymore. So, I came up with something that I feel is original. So, as you may know, a blerd is a play on words, which essentially means a black nerd. I mean, that's exactly what it means. It means a black nerd. It was first said in an episode of Scrubs, and ever since then it's just spread like wildfire. So I have a segment I want to call it "Shit My White Friends Say" or "Stuff My White Friends Say." And I think in the future I'm gonna have like some kind of voice drop that's gonna commemorate this part of my podcast. It'll be going on every week. So this week is from my buddy Jay. The first question he asked that he wants me to answer is, why can black dudes wear socks and sandals? I thought it was universally frowned upon. It's frowned upon, but not too much in the black community, because we'll call it what it is. We are a pioneer for urban wear. We're the hip trend that everybody wants to reflect or be a part of, because I don't know why, but it's one of those things where they want to be like us but not be us. But for sure, most definitely, we can pull off a lot of different things that other people cannot. That's straight fact. He had a second question on here, which I'm not going to read because it's very highly inappropriate, and I'm trying to keep my audience. Question 3, he asks, you're good at networking. Can you give a few tips for somebody who isn't as good? So, a little backstory for me. I was in the Army for 8 years. I got out like a year and a half ago, coming up on 2 years. And since then, I've met a lot of people. And this thanks to this invention called the internet. In order to network, you got to be willing to put boots on ground and talk to any and everybody. There's tons of events, social events, employment events. If you're not looking for a job, I encourage you to go to a bunch of job fairs and get your confidence down when you're speaking to people. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, everything can be used as a networking platform. You just have to go out and make it happen. I mean, if you're looking for a job, we can all agree that it's not what you know, it's who you know. I mean, once you have the required level education, you can pretty much get any job you want to if you know the person. At the end of the day, it's going to be you and somebody else. And if you are familiar with the person who is doing the hiring, they're going to be more biased. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. It's all about who you know. So networking is very important. If you don't got LinkedIn, make a LinkedIn. Find people that you know to endorse your skills and start reaching out to other people. Start talking to other people. Start emailing people. That's a very good way to get started. This is for anything. If you're trying to grow your brand, you're trying to get you a nice job, or you're just trying to get a different contacts in different area businesses. Because at some point, you're gonna need something from somebody, and somebody else gonna have the answers. So I highly advise you guys to go ahead and start trying to make that happen. All right. Question 4, which is really 3. We've been friends for almost 9 years. Is it cool if I say things like, "What's up, my brother?" Jay, you're my brother. I love you like a brother. But nobody says, "What's up, my brother?" Nobody. It's too close to the N-word. I just think it's tacky. Me personally, I don't say that. I say, "What's good, bro?" Like, "What's up?" I call people bro. If you understand the term "my guy," I use that as well. I am trying to phase out the N-word completely. I'm a vocabulary, but it's heavily invested in my vocabulary. So I've been working on that for myself. But bro, we're family, regardless. Blood doesn't make us any closer. What's up, my brother? But that's just corny, bro. Just call me by my name. All right. Question 5. Would you ever consider cosplaying as Simon Phoenix? I don't know who Simon Phoenix is off the top of my head. Hold on. Simon F. Phoenix, Phoenix. J. Would I ever cosplay as Simon Phoenix, Wesley Snipes' character in Demolition Man? It's a crime lord who's been cryogenically frozen for 22 years, sentenced in a cryo prison. After being revived for his parole hearing, he escapes to find a utopian society where even profanity is outlawed. I'm getting the sense that you chose this character because I am black. I'm not a cosplayer. I admire those who do cosplay. It's simple. But what I'm not doing is dyeing my hair blonde. I'm not as big as Wesley Snipes. It's possible to get there. But no, I will not play as Simon Phoenix, a fictional character from Demolition Man. And I am sorry that you think otherwise, that I would actually do that. I just called you my brother, Jay. You're just going to disrespect me like that? Still love you, bro. But no, that's a no from me. Also, in a caveat to that last section, I'm also doing it in reverse, where a person of our community asked a question towards people of non-color. So he asked Spade, he's in the group Afro Sane with me. Spade said, "Why do they think salt and pepper is seasoning?" And of course, I had the homie Jay answer the questions, because I can't give you a perspective from that because I am what I am. But quote unquote, Jay said, "Dude, I live in Central Valley. We have a shit ton of seasoning. And when I need a specialty seasoning, I grill my ass off." So Jay is saying that he's not part of the stereotype saying that they don't use seasoning. And he understands there's more than just salt and pepper. We're breaking barriers here, folks. So question 2. Why they don't have no rhythm when it comes to dancing? Spade, first of all, English is your second language, I'm assuming, but my guy, we need to work on that. Jay says, don't have a witty response to this one. It's a little too close to home. It's like we all grew up in the town from Footloose. If you haven't seen Footloose, it's one of those older movies that's not marketed towards us. But if you've seen it, do you understand the reference? All right, question 3 from Spade. Who is George? I'm reading this straight from the email. Who is George when they say, "By George, I think he's got it"? Jay's response was, I don't know, one of the kings of England, I guess. Makes sense, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm not British. I'm about as American as it comes. And this fourth and final question that Spade asks. Why do y'all put raisins in potato salad and eat it hot? So everybody's familiar with the raisin potato salad myth, stereotype. And Jay says this. Okay, this one I don't fuck with. I don't fuck with raisins to the point where I'll slap them out of your hand if you offered me those wasted grapes. But I also do eat potato salad at any temperature. See, that's a good question. That's good insight. I never thought of it like that. I typically eat my potato salad cold. I feel like the potato salad would heat up a little bit when I eat it. If I'm eating like ribs or chicken with it, that's like off the grill on my plate, and I got it on top of the potato salad. I'm a mixer. My food got a touch, or I don't know. People like to separate their food. I'm not a child. I'm a grown ass man, first of all. But yeah, I mean that's some real shit right there. We all learning. Like I said, tearing down barriers. So if you have any questions that you want me to ask somebody, which you have questions of, you can think it's funny or whatever, go ahead and email me at theblerdcorner@gmail.com. And depending on your questions, I'll forward it to the right person. And once I get a response, I too will be doing another segment like this. I'm going to get this segment done up. I'm going to have a drop for it. It's going to be wavy. It's going to be lit. But in the meantime, probably next week I'll have it. I've been doing a lot of Fiverr. I don't know if you heard of Fiverr. Fiverr is a website that you can pay freelance people to do stuff for you. So my logo, my intro, the voice intro is from Fiverr. The music is from my boy Larkin. I'm going to drop his IG in the beginning after the track plays. We're still remastering it right now, so it's not on there right now as I'm recording this. But before I upload this, it will be on there. Yeah, my intro and outro are both voice actors, and they did pretty good. I mean, it don't cost me like $5 a piece, but I'll take it, you know? It's something. So I'm about to get more work done so I can cut these segments up. And I'm going to probably try to focus on 1 or 2 episodes a week. So, like, for real, if you got any questions, just go ahead and email me at theblerdcorner@gmail.com. That is TheBlerdcorner@gmail.com. And if you're one of those phonetic guys, it's Tango, Hotel, Echo, Bravo, Lima, Echo, Romeo, Delta, Charlie, Oscar, Romeo, November, Echo, Romeo @gmail.com. That's going to be my official email for now. And I'm going to have everything uploaded to there for there. So go ahead and hit me up if you have any questions. I'm also looking for a co-host. You don't have to be here all the time. You can hit me up once a month. We can shoot the shit about anything you want to talk about. Like I said, I'm a big anime guy. Sports get their own section. I'm going to do a sports review every Monday before Monday Night Football. So I'm going to be covering Sunday's games because, of course, I told you before, I'm a big into fantasy guy. So I want to cover that. I want to have something for everybody. Because not everybody likes anime. Not everybody gives a shit about anime. But I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, pick my poison, pick my spots. And I guess I'll conclude it right there. This is the first episode of the Blerd Corner. Hope y'all enjoyed it. My name, I'm calling myself Rich Sensei. It's not my real name, of course. Rich is my last name that I used in the military, so it kind of stuck with me. So for people to call me by Rich versus my first name. So, Rich Sensei. Hope to see you again next week. There you have it, folks. Rich Sensei signing out. I'll be back soon. I'll be trying to drop these frequently, so stay on the lookout. Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Alright, before we head out, the outro, intro, the background music was created by Colin Larkin. You can find him on Instagram at the Clarkin. That's TheClarkinn. Hit him up, tell him you liked it, and if you want some work from him, hit him up too. He got you.
Aw, man, it's already over. Shaking my head. Thanks for tuning into the Blerd Corner. Rich Sensei will be back soon. So please like, subscribe, and follow at the Blerd Corner on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. See you later.